The computer could not solve the simple problem. Mamma mia. No.
Now it answers instantly, and I still get mad when it misses one thing. If you grow up inside the miracle, you stop looking up. Wait, is this the miracle? Yes, and now we use it like a regular chair to the Fourturamas. Welcome back to the Fourturamas!
Welcome back to Fourturamas, even though today is the Three-turamas, because there is only myself, Roberto, there is Joe, and there is Costas, also known as Eisenberg. And we had some crazy crap happening this week. Fable is back, but with a trick, and we use Hermes and no more open claw. And I even deleted my Hermes because it was useless. And how do we work with AI? Is AI really helping us? What we do? Because to me, to code okay, to do another couple of things okay, but finish there probably. I am too old. But Costas, which is older than me, is actually brain younger because he can do better things and he do actually amazing crap. So, but I don't know. We're gonna see. Anyway, welcome to the Fourturamas of this week.
I think it's a good topic because you see online everybody's use this, use that, right? But like, and then sometimes you try those things and it's like it's complete garbage, But how you operate, how you use the AIs or the different setups everybody's unique. Everybody's got a total different setup.
For example, I saw these people that says, "Oh, I started my automated business with AI and I made the $1 million in the first week." And I tried, and I was very upset because I made only $900,997. But now I wish. But yeah, I think a lot of things in X in around the social media or claims that people do things with AI are not true. Cannot be. I don't know, or I'm missing.
I think it's it's clickbait. I mean, it's like you get people to click on the video. That's like you got the hooks, you got all these techniques and devices to get you to click on something. The thumbnails and the titles and all that stuff. Everything's optimized to get you to click. And a lot of it, I tried doing like the one brain. Somebody did one brain, and I tried doing it. It was the stupidest thing. Nothing happened. He never talked to me. Like
Joe, you surprise us.
Even the scams, just to piggyback off Costas, like getting insane number of like email phishing attempts at this point, and they all look legitimate. I just study the shit out of them. I'm like, why is this believable? Never click it. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking
you use AI to do online scam. That's what you're telling us.
Nah, I'm just noticing that the phishing is picking up. But another thing I noticed that is like a lot of things that I stress out about, I end up having what I need already. Like I don't really have to go fish for solutions. A lot of times it's like, oh, I didn't realize I had this. It was already there, or I never saw this. That happens to me a lot. Like I stress out about something. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, oh, I already have the answer. I don't know if y'all can relate to that.
You don't have to because again with the YouTube, there's all these like new things and new tools. Add this, add that. But a lot of times you could do what you need to do with what you have. You don't need another fucking whatever's.
Even though you want it.
I feel like I have an incredible car off road, but also good, but no places to go, like it's parked there, it's beautiful, and what I do with it, I don't know if this is a reverse effect of the unlimited possibility that AI gives, and
right.
It makes your small needs seems nothing, so you don't even consider them compared to the incredible things AI can potentially
For sure.
do.
It's a choice overload. You have so many things. Your mind just shuts down. Like the Fable came out, right? Okay, oh yeah, let's do something with it. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. Like, I ended up doing the same thing I did with other ones. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, give me an MD file so I can build something on this other platform I use. That's that's as far as I
Yeah.
got.
Now, if we want to compare today's AI with AI of 1 year ago, which was already good at the time, but he has a lot of limitation. For example, I remember, you need to stop talking at a certain point because the conversation was becoming stupid and start a fresh one with a pre-prompt of what was discussed before. Now, you can go on talking forever. He still maintains the memories, plus he's instructed better. He saves in memories file the things that are important, the topic, and this makes it even more, like if I'm talking to a friend and I say, you know what, I climbed a wall yesterday, and then I talk about the things, and then we go in front of the wall, my friend will say, that is the wall that you climbed. And this AI wasn't able to do it until recently. And now he has memory, even in completely different session, because I was, discussing one things about the lawsuit. Then in a completely other things, I was like, can we write something like this for me? And he says, but pay attention with the situation. You have to go there. If you say this, you can compromise that. So he made a link between two separate conversation, which is scary on one side but very useful on the other.
If so I use anti-gravity, and I have my files on the left side there. And what I usually do is copy the link of the file and drop it in the comments. Hey, I want to do this with this, and it's sort of like, because now it puts like instructions in all the folders, like what the project's about and stuff, so you can quickly like catch up and start working on something very quickly. And it doesn't happen very often where like sometimes it like does weird things and like finds a folder or a file from another folder and brings it in. Very rarely does it do that, but typically it stays in with the file. It understands what's going on. It remembers what's going on. And so I can create multiple conversations, and work on different files, different projects at the same time.
What's funny is thinking about how spoiled an AI can make you, because when Gemini just types, you ask them something super basic and it just completely ignores you. And like it responds to some previous thing in the chat and it's like, I didn't ask you that. You just start getting upset with it and you realize like just how spoiled you are with getting immediate answers in the moment, just expecting it to do something simple, what we consider
This is
basic,
the
right?
downside of human adapting very fast. Human adapting very fast is a beautiful thing, is a way to survive, and but on the other hand, is a way for you not to appreciate things anymore because after one day is obviously there. And sorry, Costas, interrupted.
We expect the AI to understand what we want. And that's the thing. Like when it starts doing weird things or doesn't listen to us or goes off and my biggest pet peeve is it like starts building stuff right away. Like you
Without
just want to have a conversation, man. You have to tell it, hey, we're just talking here. Don't build anything. You have to be very specific, or else it
this is
starts like, okay, let's do this. Especially,
Anthropic made a mode for this. It's called planning. So you
Oh
shift
yeah.
from planning. So because they noticed that the AI was so okay, I got it. Let me do it without even asking. Wait, stop for a
I'm
second.
like, what happens when we have home robots and you ask it a question and it just goes on tangents, and you're like, "Hold, I didn't come back, come back,
Oh,
I didn't
my
want
stop."
the laundry
sister
done
really
again.
annoyed me. Boom, and then
Yeah, that's
yeah.
horrible when it starts doing things you don't want it to, or like it repeats itself, or it just connects things that shouldn't be connected.
Now,
That's kind of scary because I've lost files. Like I've lost files doing it. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, and I have to like stop it and like I can see what it's doing, and I'm like, what is that? That file doesn't belong here, and I have to stop and say, listen, this is not what we're doing right now.
go 35 years back when you still had the first Nokia, like brick, and somebody sees you in front of a monitor and you ask a question and the computer answer in plain English, understanding what you ask. How would you think there is a person behind it? Would not believe that is actually possible. And it's funny because when I was 6 years old, my parents gave me this Commodore VIC-20. I was 5, 6, something like that. And a friend from school, because I was bragging about having the computer, says, "Okay, show me." So he came to my home, and he wrote in the computer, the farmer has to cow. Every cow does 5 liters of milk, blah, 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 like this. You press enter and the computer says syntax error. And he told me, this computer is crap. We cannot even solve a simple problem that we do in school. And this thing remained with me. And now you can do it and it's going to solve the problem for you exactly like it was expected, like 40 years ago.
I had this similar situation. I had a friend of mine, he had the Mac, and he did some Photoshop. It wasn't Photoshop, but he did some Photoshop type things. He took my picture and then put some round glasses over some different glasses. And it was the most amazing thing I ever seen. And I thought to myself, can you, like, I didn't understand Photoshop so I was thinking kind of naughty things like, if you remove the clothes from a woman's body, do you see the skin underneath? That's the thinking I thought that you could do with that. You know what I mean? That wasn't possible back then, but it is possible now. Like what you're saying. So like that was like late, 89, 90, around that time that I was like, oh, this is amazing. So anyway,
who is luckier? Is luckier us that we are born before this technology and we're still coming up, or somebody that is born today with this technology like a default?
I think we have it good. I saw this one idea was the Generation X. We're like the bridge. So we our parents didn't grow up with computers. We didn't grow up computers, but we're also like had to learn how to fix things, how to get things done. And then the new generation has the computers, but they're never. So it's almost like we're able to teach the young kids. We're also able to teach the older generation, and it's kind of it's a weird phenomenon. Someone talked about it, and it made sense to me that we're able to, because we grew up in two different worlds, that we're more like, our brains are more like capable or able to solve problems. I don't know if that's true, but it feels right.
Picture.
Well, it kind of ties into this topic I wanted to ask about.
Boom.
I don't really have an opinion right now, but Abu Dhabi just raised 49 billion AI investment fund. Countries are investing in AI the way they once invested in oil. Whoever owns the infrastructure may shape the next century. So nations are racing to own artificial intelligence. Is this the new space race?
In a cold war of AI, I don't know.
I mean, it sort of is. If you think about what Elon is doing with all his projects, they all tie into the idea that, you know, uh, occupying Mars is the goal. Like so all these projects, the electric cars, robots, boring company, power, all these things. You send robots up there, they can terraform there, and they need to be able to drill holes, to have power, to have connection, to have all these things. So I guess that's a roundabout way of saying yes. Like AI is going to be crucial in being able to do those things.
Yeah, but to build wealth, to call it sovereign wealth, is pretty crazy. I mean, oil's already a big deal. It controls economies. So,
I mean, look how much we're dependent on AI right now. What happens when what happened when Fable was taken away? Everybody lost their minds. So yes, I think AI is the next
Big thing.
big thing, because
we have AI, but we don't have internet anymore.
it just made me think, when you said took away Fable, remember they took away GPT 4.0. People were literally like suicidal because of it. That's a crazy idea. Like, to get something taken away and be that connected to it.
That's pretty fun. I mean, how do they do now? Has anybody checked in on those people? That's what I want to know.
The special account that accepts only 4.0.
How can we when they're not here? Anyways, Amazon and Google are climbing emissions because of AI. So for big year, they promised carbon neutrality. And I know climate change is one of those boring topics, but AI may end up being one of the biggest climate stories of the decade. It's kind of crazy to think it's the biggest polluter, and the companies are like, well, forget the environmental sustainability goals, forget it. Race, let's go.
I can see the title, the big title in Times Magazine, When AI Farts, because the consequences are the same of the cows.
Probably worse. That's even more interesting, right? Like trying to debate cows and food. populations, but at the same time, those corporations are literally putting the same amount of emissions into the world.
But here's the question: is climate change really a thing? Because how quickly did they abandoned it when it was time to build the data centers? Like all of a sudden, it didn't exist, right? So, is
Yeah,
climate change really a thing? My opinion is, I think it's complete nonsense. And Al Gore made a lot of money.
dude, I was about to say Al Gore. That's funny. What's crazy was I was in elementary, and I remember them asking us these questions. And dude, think about that. I'm like fourth, third grade, and they're asking us questions about climate change. Like, I don't know, but you tell us to believe it, so sure, like, you're a child. It's very early brainwashing.
Here's a good question: if climate change is real, why did all the billionaires and trillionaires,
Keep flying.
have a beach, oceanside properties?
Because I covered by insurance for the act of
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You know, in the insurance office, they're gonna check with God if it was his act or, or not. This is the reason. No, climate change is act of humans. So
If the oceans really rose, you wouldn't be able to buy a house by the beach because nobody would want to insure it. I mean, look at Florida. Even with the hurricanes, people still buy homes by the water. Yes, there's times where the hurricanes come, the waters rise. I actually been like my apartment building. One year, it rained within 24 hours. It rained like 20-25 inches, man. We were like, there was water around my apartment complex. Water, like it was like like 2 feet deep around my complex. So, anyways, but that's freak. That doesn't mean climate change. It just means like, hey, there's like more rain that time. Now, it's just more rain.
I guess so. The other crazy story, this one kind of pissed me off a little bit. The fact that Sony is moving away from physical objects, items, well, when it comes to gaming, toward an all digital future. And then I even saw that people were pissed because their movie licenses were expiring. So you bought a movie and then it expired, so you can't watch it anymore. So why call it a purchase? It's so stupid. You don't own it.
well, if you follow the rules, but if you are smart, you own it.
It's like
Oh my
renting
god,
without having to put it in a box, so you don't get the late fee.
it makes me miss the Blockbuster days, honestly.
Me too. Speaking of Blockbuster, we used to my wife and I were hooked on Battlestar Galactica, so we'd get the DVDs from Netflix, and we'd be done like through the whole DVD in one night, and it was like 11:30. I'm like, do I have time? And I would, you know, drive to the Blockbuster like a half an hour away to get the next DVD. So I'd make it in like 11:58, just to barely in there, and I get the next one. It was funny. That's crazy.
What's weird, dude, is I don't think people understand the nostalgia of going to pick up a game that wasn't there, like just hoping it's in stock to get a chance. That's a crazy feeling. You just be like, yes, like something's there. I don't
Do you
know.
remember
It's
the
not.
Blockbuster in the Santa Rosa?
Nah, I don't think I went to that one.
It was off of. Anyways, that's the one, but kind of at the edge of town.
Roberto, did you even have blockbusters?
Yeah, we had Blockbuster in Italy, and I had a very particular experience with the Blockbuster, where somebody that parked outside claimed that I stole from his car, and
Oh,
he stole my car. So Blockbuster gave this person my data, my name, full name, phone number, and all. And this guy starts stalking me, and like saying things, bad things. So I went to Blockbuster, said no, they denied to give the number, but I had the recording of the guy admitting that they gave the number. I clarified with the guy. I didn't take anything. It was quite obvious at the end. But the Blockbuster headquarters for Italy sent me like 50 free rentals as an apology. They
wow.
said, you know where you can put these rentals, but anyway.
So
Wow.
funny, dude.
That's dope. Didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, looking for movies at Blockbuster is like really awesome because you had to like find the one that you wanted to see, and there was all these choices, and maybe you're going with your wife, like, no, I don't want to watch that. I've seen that before, and it was like it was an event, that the popcorn and
Yeah.
the candy. That's
But you know
missing.
what? Blockbuster didn't have all the other videotape rental shop had the special magic back area behind the curtain where you can rent.
Oh, shit.
Oh, the curtain. They didn't have the curtain.
Blockbuster didn't
Wow.
have that area.
There's also they didn't have what they didn't also have is like weird like cult movies, you know, like obscure movies that were cool. Like they was just mainstream, but then sometimes you had like other in Sebastopol they had one that was like had all the weird movies that you know nobody knew about, but a few people, and so you can see some really choice like cool movies. You know what I mean? I'm dropping names now.
No, I'm just thinking
Sorry
about
about that.
how it literally was a family event. Like they took all that personable aspect out. And then now we have to like scroll through menus and then read each one and watch a preview instead of just looking at the back of it and taking a gamble, you know?
No more gambling.
Sucks.
And I loved when VHS videotape faded out and DVD faded out. There were all these rental shops where like you rent it for 5, but for 6 you can keep it. You know, like, and then the last one were 5 for 10 tapes. We were cheaper than empty one tapes. So many people were buying them just to record on top of
Oh.
it their own things.
Wow.
We had a
Holy
in our
shit.
garage we had gotten like one of those wooden like video cases, and we had our own like library, you know, like we had like freaking 100 different videos, you know, all the Disney stuff and you know, they're all gone.
I had a LaserDisc by Pioneer. They were big like the old 75 vinyl disc, but they were like a CD laser, so they included videos. So you buy these and you can listen to music, but also watch the video at the same time. And they printed the 3 of those discs and then they shut down the full system. So a lot of money for nothing. Remember when you had the stereo? There was all component amplifier, the cassette tape reader, the CD.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it was
That was like a whole entertainment system, right?
Which brings us back to Sony because you know everybody, I'm sure everybody had a Walkman, and so to be able to not have those physical things anymore brings it back to you, Joe. It's like now you don't have physical things; you have digital things that somebody could just take away from you, which is kind of
and they are all concentrated in a single place. People wear watches just because it's cool to wear a watch, but the time everybody check the time on the cell phone because it's the most accurate of all. You know, like is keep up to date and listen the music and watch the movies, and you do everything in a single device, which is quite.
It's so strange to think of growing up in a time where you could burn CDs. Like, do y'all remember burning music and giving it to people, friends and shit? Like
Yeah,
now it's like pirating, would never do that. Can't believe that was a thing. Didn't care, obviously, but
And it's
I think
easier now, actually.
that's
The
true.
crazy thing is because you don't have to burn a CD, you just copy an MP3 file. That's
Just risking the viruses on LimeWire, didn't care.
I mean, we used to like you know record tapes from the radio. That was a thing, and you made a mixtape.
we were
We
ready,
went way
Wait
back.
for
When.
it.
waiting that
And
they say, and now the next song by Brian Hand. I was like, cut the cord.
Oh,
damn, that's
You
crazy.
call the radio, please don't talk on top of the song. Let the whole song go.
so funny, so funny. Like, there's probably a group of people who listen to the show like they're like, what the hell are they talking
Right.
about?
They're probably under 30 though.
Yeah, but those things are coming back. Like, I see things where like. I'm sure San Francisco and places like that, they're like, you know, they have record stores. They have like they have things that are physical, and like there's a nostalgia for those things.
Do you realize how much you had to like love a project or an album to have it on a CD and just keep replaying it, going through the whole project over and over again? Like, you don't know how many times I heard Mumbo Number 5 as a child.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. But you know what was even worse? Buying a full album just because you like one single song
Oh
in the
no.
album, you know, and you find yourself with the rest of things that you
Wow.
don't care
You sound like you work for Spotify.
dude, the albums that I had there were just all the way through with like the Led Zeppelin. That was like my favorite band, and I would listen to them all. And there was some songs that were like, you know, rewind and you know redo, but just
But
hours in the
they were
car
called
driving.
they were called Led Zeppelin before the lead was invented.
Oh my god, this is stupid.
We digress. We got to get an angry call from Led Zeppelin. What else do you got, Joe?
AI assistants are moving into keyboards, phones, browsers, and operating systems. The biggest AI battle isn't about the best chatbot, it's about becoming invisible. So when AI is built into everything, you stop choosing it because it's simply there. Most powerful AI may be the one you never even notice.
Well, right now, this last week, I was editing this last week's video, and I got into trouble with Premiere. But so now they have an AI chat in there, and you can say, "Hey, man, I'm running into trouble with this. Can you fix it?" And it will do it. Like that's useful. Like I also use GoHighLevel, and also GoHighLevel has the same thing where there's things I don't know how to do in these programs where you say, "Hey, this is what's happening. Can you help me?" And it will like build things out. It will do whatever it is that you need to do, and you can see it doing, which is cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say about the auto mode. Now that Claude has like an auto mode in Terminal, I love it. Like it's just solving itself, found it, goes to the next step. And sometimes when something is so big, I'm like, dude, break the process down into chunks and I'll just tell you continue when you're done with each step. But yeah, I love that.
Any of you try to write music with AI? Not just make the song that is the AI made the song, but actually write the notation for the music. And, it takes somebody that knows that, but discuss about, no, you see, doesn't make sense. You need to make the note like that. And understanding if AI has the capacity to perceive the sound that it would make. Put a tuba there, put the violin, raise one, I don't know, because that's a field that I am totally illiterate on. But I wonder how illiterate AI is about it. Would it be able to write something that makes sense?
I just had some insane ideas while you're talking about that. While you're saying it, I'm literally thinking about how I would build it.
Yes, to the white coat tribe. Let's white coat to the fucking everything. Let's go outside and demolish businesses because we're gonna byte code the solution.
What I know how I would get the answer to that, but I don't know how to make it, be functional and the ideal setup for it. But I definitely know how to get the data you're talking about for that one.
But the first question is, does AI is trained enough to notice? I guess yes, but
yeah, hell yeah, dude. Think about all the websites.
Mozart will be obsolete today. Mozart would use AI to say, "Shit, I can do this sonata in 2 days rather than 2 years."
I think the only problem is the least that it knows is like the scale of the song and then the BPM, how fast the tempo is or whatever. But it might not know like the instruments or where the notes go. So that's the only issue I can think of.
Because it is still, I don't know if deliberately or they don't know how to fix it, still incapable to say time. I can trick it as well, let's say, oh, hey, I finish a message, 10 minutes later says, oh, the whole night went by, you did only so little. Oh, sorry, it's because, good morning, it's convinced that time is...
Here's what's funny, dude, is recently there's a song going viral, I'm not even going to mention who it is, but they pretended that it was original. They made a whole video behind it, but it's really just AI. They're just lip singing over an AI song. So think about that being an implication for music in the future. Like people can just lie about it.
But music with even lyrics sang inside the music the fusion is completely different approach than writing the notation of the music. I don't know if the brain work behind it I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. Was when you make music now, there's like a button that says quantize, and it puts it all in perfect rhythm, right? But what's crazy is like to get like a humanistic, natural feeling, you don't want everything to be perfect and on the same beat. So a lot of times producers will go back and change a little thing here and there every other one, but AI won't do that. It'll just make it overly processed and perfect to where you can tell, like, I don't know if that's real or not. That's the question that comes up in your head because it's too good. That's crazy.
That's why, I mean, going back to analog, there's a difference between like when you hear record play, you have this music, you also have the static and the scratch, and that adds like layers of interest, and it's it's physical. It's not perfect. You you got a turntable that's turning, all those things, right? And I think when GPT first came out, and I was doing these, like creating um, these GPTs characters, like the reason why I did that is because I wanted to interact with AI, but I didn't want to interact with AI. I wanted like a human type of interface, right? So as I think as humans, I think we still have that desire for human things. It's something that like we can tell when something's imperfect, but we want that. That's desirable. That means you know what I mean? Like we reject something that's 100% perfect. And,
Yeah.
and it's also kind of like the story of the Matrix, right? The reason why they rejected it, because they needed something to do. Like they created a world where there's jobs and there's like all these things that we as humans want and need to survive. Like struggle and pain and conflict and all those things. If it's too perfect, something inside of us rejects that, and it's like it goes with everything, with music, with AI, talking to AI. I don't know. That's just my sense. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I like the Matrix analogy. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we're still like, I think I think we're analog beings. We still crave that. Somewhere deep inside of us we crave something that's real, and we can tell the difference when it's not real. So eventually I think they're going to get to the point where they're going to add back the sort of the they're going to add the scratches back in, just like when we went from records to digital MP3s, right? All that warm, sound and texture was missing. So like, I think they're going to put it back in to try to get
Hey,
us to
hey
connect to it
Hermes,
more.
Hermes, go conduct for me. Conduct a symphony. How are you using Hermes anyway? Like, do you have it in a terminal or like its own dashboard?
So I have anti-gravity, and anti-gravity is like, so you have your files on left side, you have like the individual files that you can see what's inside, right? And then below that you can have a terminal, and on the right side is the prompting. So I installed Hermes inside of anti-gravity, so when I punch in Hermes in the terminal, it brings her up, and then I could just give her instructions, or I give her a link to a project that I'm working on and say, hey, work on this. And so that's how I use it inside of anti-gravity. It's been like, I know I hear you running out of credit all the time. So anti-gravity, I'm able to use the Google one, the Google tokens, or I can use Claude, or I can use OpenAI. So I have three kind of versions. I don't use Claude as much actually, because I got so burnt out. It was running out of credits. I'm kind of like, I don't trust you. Like you're gonna let me down. So I just use it once in a while, but mostly it's
Only missed GPT because of the coding aspect. It was really fucking good. And
yeah, it's
then
Codex. It's Codex.
and
It's inside
then
of
I I noticed that GPT's links have gotten a lot better. Like it's not fabricating the way it used to. It's kind of behaving like Perplexity. And speaking of Perplexity, in the last few weeks I noticed that it was giving me fake links. I was like, "Oh, that's not even a real story." I know out of all sites, I would click it, nothing would come up. I'm like, "Damn, you just lied." How many times you been doing that? Well, that's nuts. To produce a link and it doesn't exist, that's wild.
sometimes the other ones do it too. When you say, "Hey, I need a link for Amazon or something," and it's just like nothing. It's not there.
Oh, oh,
Because
uh, I think I told you all that Perplexity was being sued because Amazon Amazon sued them because they were giving the literal cheapest product that they were looking for on the website. So it was scraping through all Amazon, providing
wow,
you, yeah, providing with what the cheapest item was, which it's actually really good. Like it genuinely does give me the cheapest. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, now you just went off and gave me the really expensive quality product. How about you just give me the most basic bare bones, however you want it. Like you can go through brands, prices. It's kind of strange to think of Perplexity as a shopping tool, to be honest.
it's funny that they got sued by Amazon for showing the
Exactly,
cheapest.
by the worst people in the planet.
Yeah, another thing that I saw was Amazon will buy your product and then manufacture it in bulk and then like ban you until you can like. Well, here's what they do first. First, they like ban you until you can prove your product is legit. So you have to send them your actual product. Like give us the manufacturing details, all of that. And then once they have it, they go and take your market from you anyway. Yeah, that's how they kind of control the monopoly there. Allegedly.
Yeah, horrible.
There's a beautiful word in American English, I guess, that is overused, that I don't know the correct translation in other language, because you can go presumably kind of thing, but allegedly is specific on an accusation, is a strange word. I think it's been invented by a lawyer in America.
Lawyers also use the word "I believe." I was in court today, observing, but all the lawyers were always using like "I believe," and I was like, literally, I asked GPT, like, why do these lawyers always use "I believe"? It's because they don't want, if they say something that's
factual, they
can get in trouble for it down the road. So if they say "I believe," they're sort of hedging, saying like, to the best of my ability, I think this is true, but I'm not saying it's true.
That's why the best part is when they're all saying baseless, meritless claims, like we don't agree, none of this is true. It might actually be true, but they genuinely can't say that. They're always going to say, yeah, we don't agree.
When you go to somebody, you insult it at the hardest core that you can, and you say, but I believe.
Wow. Offer protection.
Lawyers are interesting.
No, go ahead. It's kind of off topic.
I was going to say I have a friend who went through law school. He didn't become a lawyer, but he went through law school. And I literally, because I knew him since high school, I've known him a long time. He was my best man and all that stuff. But I literally saw the change. It literally retrained your brain. So my conversations with him were tough because it wasn't like fun anymore. It was all like mitigation of risk. It was all about like hedging, like these. He was like lawyer-like in his conversations with me, and I hated it because I just want to have a conversation with my friend, and he's like, "Well, it drove me nuts, bro."
Right. You can come at dinner at my house. You will not be food poisoned, I believe.
He's kind of Aspie, and I'm like ADHD, so we clashed because I'm like all about risk. Like I'm all risk all the time. Like let's do this, let's take a chance, and he's like, "Well." Mitigation of risk, all about mitigation of risk. So it doesn't work.
Dude, the more I lean into my ADD, the more I realize that I won't finish something if I don't do it in the moment.
Yeah.
I hate that. I genuinely hate that because I got to remind myself, don't start something else. Finish this, finish it, stay on it. You got to remind it.
But it's beautiful to start 20 things at the same time. If you get drunk, then you face the hangover. The face the hangover is bad, but you had a fun time. So I start 20 things and then I go cry in the other room. I don't let my AI see me crying about it.
Dude, I started another thing over the weekend. No, it's like going off it's like getting drunk and then having a hangover the next day and you hate yourself. Why did I start that project? Like I started another project. I bought another URL. I bought got all the socials dialed in. Nothing. There's just a picture. That's it.
It's like the subscription to the gym. Same thing. Like you commit and you say I spent this money because I'm really committed in doing it, and then. And more important is the thing, less you give a care about it. You go to the most useless but exciting crap that there is.
So speaking of gym, I'm the crazy one because I've been talking to y'all about saunas, and I realize this is nuts, and I probably shouldn't do it, but I can spend 2 hours in a session in a sauna to where like my body stops sweating. And the only reason I get out is I'm like, I'm probably going to die if I don't leave this place. It is bad, dude. But I love it. Like I fucking love heat like that. I don't know why.
That in most of the world sauna, people go in naked.
Are you having recommendations?
It's happening in the United States. Huh?
Recommendations? Are you giving me that recommendation?
No, I'm saying they become distracted. That you can spend 2 hours without realizing and pass out for a heat stroke. But happy.
Yeah, and I was like researching like the finish. They take 20 minutes. They go in to like an ice bath and then they go back in. And I'm like, nah, I just stay in until can't even live anymore.
Take me out.
Literally,
they put you in an horizontal pole. They keep turning around like this. So you have the rotating jaw, roasting jaw.
Wow.
That's a Greek style. They put you in a gyro.
But my stack is amazing, bro. Like I got all these specific supplements so that I can keep the muscle while I'm losing it. I know, like whether it's creatine, taurine, HB, a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit.
Do you actually work out, or you just take vitamins and hot?
But mine is like a very specific thing where I max out immediately as I get there, and then I just go straight to the sauna. So I don't spend more than like 15 minutes. I just go super hard immediately and then jump in.
Now I don't do, I haven't done a gym in a while, but like I'm a maniac about walking. Like I'll walk at least 5,000 steps. Like that's what I got. And there's like a place out here. There's like, there's ups and downs. There's a hill. There's like loops. So I just keep going around until I'm exhausted. And that's
No, they kicked me out of the sauna. They told me it was a place where your body left out all the toxic things, all the waste like this. And so I took a shit in the sauna because I thought it was part of the process, but they didn't appreciate.
Are you being serious?
No.
Not.
Okay. I promise though, your body gets used to it so quick. Like
no,
I think there's like a receptor. I got receptors in my brain that literally just I get like going from the sweat and the heat where I don't even. Most people want to leave. Like you start getting irritated after that time, but I just get motivated.
Our time breathing if there is too much humidity. So if it's a dry hot sauna, the one with the stone, but you don't put water in the stone, the most classic sauna, that's I can do. Even I can spend a day there if you bring me some sandwiches. But the steam sauna, that is a challenge to last a long time inside. And I love to jump in ice water after that. Like many places that prepare that for you.
Well, I know it reduces like heart attack rates and stuff, like 50 or 60%.
Well, because heat dilate things, so
blood vessels.
You guys suddenly but which is dangerous too on its own, actually. Yeah.
For sure. I just want y'all to consider it because I know it's good for you. So those are my health pushes. I'm gonna promote it.
Just go for a walk. I mean, walking.
You can sweat. You can sweat too doing that.
I don't know. Walking, and actually, nobody talks about, everybody talks about sleep. They're tracking sleep, but sleep is a big deal.
Sleep is very important.
And also, I did a little short today. And I was like, what about naps? Like nobody talks about napping in the afternoon. Like everyone's all about like, I gotta get my 8 hours of sleep. But if you took a nap, dude, that's like, I hate. My mom used to make me take naps, and I hated it. But now it's like, dude, I'm like, I wake up and I have the most amazing ideas. I'm refreshed, an hour.
No, sleep is key. I told you guys, it's already 2 weeks. I don't use my glasses anymore. I can
Wait, still? Is this real?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, so just so everybody knows, you woke up one day with perfect vision all of a sudden. God just came down and
it didn't even come back gradually. It was like sudden. I put my glasses on, I cannot see well, I remove, I can see perfectly. What's wrong? For a week I went to, every time I get up from the table computer instinctively to remove my glasses, but nothing there.
I have a theory about vision. I think there's already studies on this, but I played video games a lot as a kid and the TV was about 4 feet away. And that's probably as far as I can see without contacts or glasses. But I spent like days on days playing video games with the TV 4 feet away. So I think our eyes get adjusted to that distance and you're not using them to look far away at shit. I kind of think that has something to do with it. I might be wrong, but that's my theory on why our vision adjusts. Like, what do you
you don't see well far away, or you don't see well very close to you?
No, I can only see like facial expressions up to like 3 or 4 feet away, and then I can't see anything. Literally, it's blurred.
You're nearsighted. Do you have glasses?
Yeah. I'm wearing contacts right now.
Oh yeah. I wore contacts for many years, and I really enjoyed the peripheral vision. Being able to see all around. But then I'm like, what I didn't like is having to, like, I would wear them for forever. I'm like cheap, so that box would last forever.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
So I got tired of that. So I'm like, just glasses.
Contacts. That's why I can see very well. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I never took them out.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe
Roberto got some shit. I forgot about it, or somebody came during the night and put it on me. I don't realize.
I don't understand how that's possible. You're an anomaly. We need to study you.
You know what?
I'm gonna contact the Bali government and I'm gonna say where you live.
I had a lot of phlegm in my like sinus and nose, and I did one is a 3 days treatment with some pills, Flamuchil, I don't know is the medicine name, which made all the phlegm come down. So if my bad vision was because of the excessive phlegm that comes inside the eyes from the corner like here, and that because I really had the smell in my nose and taste in my mouth of a chemical for a while.
Wow.
The things actually cleaned up that can be the reason why.
You're leaking secret information. The optometrist industry is gonna come find you, bro. Maybe you were just eating a bunch of fucking carrots and you're not telling us.
No, only eating them, but yeah, it's incredible what a carrot can do.
God, I really want to understand that. That's crazy. We should though. You should tell me what comes up. Type that in. Why did my vision get perfect last night? AI is beginning to influence cybersecurity policy at a federal level. We already know this. Governments are deciding which AI capabilities are too dangerous to release. So what are your thoughts on ChatGPT being given, priority for the government, and then Claude's just like an endangered species over here?
Scam Altman is homosexual, so probably he managed to get some more views.
What?
Did you call him Scam Altman?
Yes, exactly.
That's funny.
Well, the funny part is
Allegedly.
alternative man. He's an alternative man. Altman equals alternative man. So maybe that's why.
There is all the... And yeah, no, I don't like that. I cancel my subscription. I don't use the ChatGPT anymore.
Why, dude?
Only in agentic AI that I do for client, but nothing else.
I miss it, dude. I didn't think I would, but I actually really miss it.
And the only one still using it? What happened? I didn't get the memo.
Well, they deleted mine. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
You can invite it over for the 4th of July. Hey, I know you have nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah, you don't get to celebrate.
That's
funny.
You know what is the most funny thing? When what's the day of the turkey?
28th November, I think.
What is called?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. There you go. So in Italy we don't have Thanksgiving.
Day of the turkey.
It doesn't make any sense to me Thanksgiving. And when I was in Florida, I was by myself, and I had several friends, and there was a fight between them all who is inviting me. Like you bring a bum to your house, so you show that you are, welcome. And I was, no, you Thanksgiving by yourself. No, I talked to my mom. You need to come with my home, or rather here and there. And I know if I accept one of them, I upset them all the others, right? Because it seems I have a favorite. So I will always say no to everybody, and then go to Harvey's or
Well, you could do multiples. It's like you could visit. We had relatives that would have Thanksgivings. We get them we would coordinate, so we had a certain time, and then hours later they would come over. You know what I mean? So you could you could visit. You could visit. You could you could have gone to all of them.
I had a guy that was like a brother, so I went to his home, for a few Thanksgiving, and his mother was preparing so much food. The gravy was insane. I just loved it, and I think I was putting off at least 20 pounds every Thanksgiving because food was excellent. But yeah, it's a good memory. But exactly like the 4th of July, those are holidays that do not exist anywhere else. Even Halloween in the past was just in America, maybe in the UK, I don't know. And now it's everywhere in the world.
In Greece, Christmas is not as a big deal, but New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, New Year's Day is a really big deal. So it's weird.
Isn't that every country celebrates?
Yeah. And I always think India is funny because the days when you used to work with Indians, have a team in India, it's always oh yeah, we got some holiday. It's a week long, and everybody's off. They're celebrating some god or whatever, and it's the whole week is we're out.
I'm legally Hindu.
Good for you.
I'm an atheist. Before I didn't believe in one God. Now I don't believe in 1,000, but it's just more work.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
But in Indonesia, doesn't exist atheism, so you need to have one religion. There are five to choose from, and you cannot marry. Two people cannot marry if they don't belong to the same religion. So one of the two has to convert.
Is that like a country's law?
It is a government law for all Indonesia. Can you imagine in the small countryside if a Muslim married, I don't know, something else, then it's gonna be a lot of issues.
Dude, that's weirder than like race. You
So
know?
do they do it because they don't want people like fighting each other?
Correct. Families, because in Indonesia the individualism is close to nothing, so you belong to the family. I had employees that will keep working or resign because of the family decide, not them.
Wow.
It is, yeah. It's strange also when an employee came and says, I'm resigning, and I says, no, okay, and he keep working. It's weird, you know? Yeah, it is a strange place. But I mean, from the point of view of a Western, and this thing about the religion, I think is important. So I did all the things. I filed my teeth. My God, I had to go back to the dentist and rebuild them. I am Hindu.
What's crazy is in my life, the people that have always been overly religious were usually the ones that were like hiding some weird deep-seated secrets and stuff, where it's like, you're not even actually like that. You don't even believe in what you're saying. I don't know. That's just my luck, or maybe that's just how people project when they need you to believe that they are something. But it's usually like they come across like insincere about what they believe because they're so into it.
The ones that
usually when scientists are religious people, that's something that really pisses me off because you cannot be a scientist and be religious. You know, like it does not work.
Wow. What's fun is that people that rail against something very specific, they end up being the ones that, you know, like,
yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
who are like into that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
or like the opposite.
Oh, they're against gay things, right? And they end up being you know, they end up being
they're part of it. Closet. Yeah, that's the greatest example, honestly. Yeah, it's all projection.
So whoever's like yelling the most is like, okay, what do we got in your closet, baby?
Straight up, it's like, why is it such a problem?
What we do about Charlie Kirk?
Jeez, wow. Dude. Well, he's gone, but his wife is I don't like her.
Scary, man.
She's scary, dude. I don't even want to.
We've never talked about Charlie on this pod. That's funny. I think it's interesting to watch his videos after the fact, because I knew who he was before he died, and he made some good points. I'm not going to say he was completely like, you know, a lot of people don't like him at all, period, for any reason at all. But I can see the good and bad in anyone. So
yeah. So let's talk about the guy with the mustache here, like the good part.
Well, the good thing is him and I have the same birthday. How about that?
Oh, wow. That's something. So the horoscope is the same, huh?
A little bit different. Time period has something to do with it, too. Here's another crazy story. It's not really that big of a deal to me, but if NASA found its strongest evidence yet for possible ancient life on Mars, their rover detected the highest concentration of organic molecules ever measured. It's not proof of life, but it's one of the strongest clues that ancient microbial life may have once been possible. So if we find bacteria on Mars tomorrow, does that become the biggest discovery in human history?
Like European brought to Americas, we wasn't even called America, a lot of viruses and sickness, and they really killed a lot of people without even touching them, just because of spreading the virus that wasn't
Native Americans.
Yeah, I mean the native people, right? They had no antibodies for whatever virus arrived. It happened often when you travel intercontinentally. That when you arrive in the other place after 2 days, you're sitting in the toilet thinking about life very intensely. It's because you know what you ate or whatever you breath didn't fit with your body. After Europe thing you made. So I'm wondering with Mars what we can cause and vice versa. You know, when one of those rovers landed, it brought so many bacteria from planet Earth that probably life in Mars ended in the moment they landed there. Before it was like discotheque, bar, like lives like this. The rover arrived, everybody died.
Dude, rovers are one of those things that's hard to believe that something is communicating from so far away.
Takes
Pretty
20
mind-blowing.
minutes for the message to arrive.
Damn.
Imagine a chat. Hi. 40 minutes later. Hey, who are you? Shit, I am John. You know, like this.
Imagine
Damn.
giving instructions for AI to do something for you 20 minutes away. No, that's not what I wanted.
Straight up. It's already
Damn
halfway
it.
done with the task by the
It
time it
burns
tells
all your credit. Like you have to wait for like a year because like the space is all.
you got to be extra specific with your task. That's a good point. But yeah, is it the biggest discovery in human history? If there's life?
Ice in the moon is the biggest discovery, I think, because ice in the moon seems to be a thing, and is really the base to rebuild some potential life. Because the moon will be the perfect launchpad to go to many other places.
So weird to think about. Like, yeah, this is our intermediary station. It's kind of like a dock to the ocean, you know? That's a dock to get to the Earth.
Yeah, correct, exactly. The elevator Earth to moon is already difficult, but moon out is going to be. They can with the ice they can make oxygen, so they you can breathe. So if you make a base, you can bring breathable air in the base. It's not bad.
That is so strange to think about.
The idea of like Elon's robots and AI. So you send a bunch of that over there. I like that idea. Like you can send robots, AI, they terraform the place, they get it ready for you because it's going to take some time. It's almost like the the people that first came to America, right? The first year they had a hard time because they didn't have crops, they didn't have anything, right? So it's the same idea. You don't want to send humans. They're trying to like figure out how to like make shit on like as soon as they get there.
They send embryos that the robot help grow, and the robots. So 10 years later, you arrive with the bill already built with the sea on the ocean of Mars, wherever it's going to be. And they tell you, now you think you come and enjoy everything of the work that we did, and they kick you away. And because they are robot, a powerful kick can send you back to planet Earth from Mars directly. In 6 months.
No, they wouldn't waste the energy to send you back. They just bury you out in the backyard.
There is and make compost, make the land more fertile. I think it makes sense. We're gonna be the dinosaur of Mars.
That's a great movie. Like that's a great movie line, storyline where you send the robots out, they take care of the place, and by the time you get there, they got so smart. They're like, we don't think you belong here. You're a bunch of illegal immigrants trying to crash our place.
Exactly.
So you bring blankets. That's what you do. Take care of
it. I'm impressed by this thing.
No, I'm just reading the other title on this. Apparently, life on Mars, weird water, and a curious human cousin. So apparently, we have two different types of water. Scientists think water may exist in two different liquid forms. One of the most common substances in the universe might still be hiding fundamental secrets. AI-assisted research is helping test decades-old theory that could explain why water behaves so strangely. How can we know so little about the one thing that every human drinks?
Yeah, cheers.
Two types of water?
Cheers.
See, me and Costas have two types of water.
You're smart. You're drinking out of glass. Good for you.
One is spring, one is tap.
We don't need to pollute the planet by throwing away plastic bottles.
Statue in Italy reportedly appeared to cry blood. Roberto?
Yeah,
Talk
Roberto,
about
what
that.
do you know about that?
Wow, that was funny. We have a place with blood of Saint Francis, I think. The one say, oh no, San Gennaro. I don't remember, but there is this small glass with this blood inside, and once a year it become liquid. A specific day it become completely liquid, and then the next day is coagulated again.
What?
And scientists are going nuts to understand how and why this is happening like this. And another time there was this a small statue of Holy Mary that was leaking tears, and people were going there touching it to put in their mouth like this until they realized that it was the sewage that was leaking through the statue.
Wow.
Because it was on a wall. And so these people were very happy to have the special effect of the Holy Mary. But no, we have a few unexplained strange things. There was, and it's incredible how everybody's attacking it, but This couple, they were like regular people, had this Holy Mary statue that was crying, right? At home. Not blood, one time blood, but like normal tears. And a journalist approached them very kindly, like this, trying to understand if it was a scam or not, because this lady set up a business with people visiting this Holy Mary. And he convinced her to bring the statue to do an MRI. Okay, so they went to the hospital, to the MRI room, and he was there with the scientists, doctors that are expert in MRI, and they moved the statue inside MRI, and there is no chamber where you can keep water or liquid. It was a sealed thing. There was nowhere that so they think they exchanged the statue. Is not the one that was in their home. The guy, and when he's there in the MRI, he start crying, and people were freaking out. I promise you, because there was this water came out of nowhere. There was no like any conductor that could have, or condensation, humidity. They told them all, and yet people would not believe it. Like if they were all organized to do this thing as a setup. But and we have a few of these strange in Italy just because we have the Vatican, right?
So, I mean, do you believe that's possible? What do you think about it?
I mean, I want to see ChatGPT cry.
Wow.
Pretty soon, like I've had moments I could have sworn it.
Because for sure the AI made me cry many times. So I want
Oh
to.
my god, dude!
No.
I wanted to throw my computer through the window, bro. I mean,
dude, I think one of the craziest things that I believe that I shouldn't really even, I don't think I should talk about it really, but the flight MH30, the Malaysian flight.
Yeah. I'm following a lot of conspiracy theory.
I have some of the craziest thoughts on that, like where I went deep for like a couple of days into AI research, just trying to theorize what it would mean if like this technology existed that made it disappear. I just wanted to understand like where these people went, what would happen to them. But yeah, I don't know if that's worth talking about.
Two aspects to consider. Not all the sky are monitored. So there are places of a sky that you can fly through and no rather catch your presence. Okay, if you're very well informed, you can follow a path. Second,
I don't know, bro. Palantir might have something to say about that.
But the ocean and an airplane proportion is like a grain of sand in a room, meaning that can be not found. Mostly if you don't know in what direction it went, because some say it turned back, some say it went straight, some say it went to left or right.
Some say it disappeared.
Some say it disappeared. It can be stolen. It can be the guy, really had issues at home and, thought to bring with him a lot of people. It's hard to say until they find it. It's very hard to say. But I saw that there are plenty of alternative explanation to the things. At the same time that your government is putting out a lot of videos of strange UFOs,
aliens. I think by the time, I think what I believe about that is like they slow rolling out this information. It's like he gets us used to this AI, this alien stuff. When you finally actually see some, you're like, I think that's what usually happens is they get desensitized to information.
Imagine if AI is another level of an alien intelligence. So they get us used to the thought of something being that fast, that intelligent before it even gets here. But the other thing is, if that was a real thing where if there was like some malice, some intentional aspect of making all these important people disappear, I think there's a lot of karma that comes with that. Like, I don't think you just do that and there's no repercussions on the earth. I think the universe responds,
Have you seen Atlas Shrugged? I mean,
What's that?
Atlas Shrugged is a movie where like, the world is like very socialist and, taxation and then government and all those things. And smart people start, disappearing. They start going away. They quit. They're like, I can't do this. I can't run a business when you're the government's up my, you know what I mean? And so they disappear and they go to a place where they can work and they can innovate, and it's hidden. It's actually hidden behind a
Wow.
shield.
That's
So,
probably real.
I mean, Atlas Shrugged. That's a real movie. It's a cool movie. It's a
What year was that?
great story. I don't know when it came out, but there's a series of them. The movies were kind of, they're not like the best, but they're a great story. Like 3 episodes.
On another note, not to get too off topic, what'd y'all think of the Samsung Micron SK lawsuit for RAM? Because they run 90% of the global DRAM market, colluding to restrict the supply of DDR3 and DDR4 memory to artificially inflate prices. Is this why everything's so damn expensive? Is this why computer prices are going up? What do you think, Roberto?
That everybody jump into the option to get more, right? So when an opportunity presents and ChatGPT tell you to do so, instructed by Scam Altman, why not? Yeah, I thought that there is enough competitors, open market, that something like this would not happen. I think also the fact that there has been put bans on export in many directions and things have helped, create the situation. Not because that directly it create the problem, but because the people that is affected by the problem take action to send a message as well.
I think it's artificial. Like, I think these things are created, just like this, the oil. There's, I believe there's plenty of oil out there. It's not a finite resource. The Earth just
backyard
creates oil. It's not even dinosaurs. It's like the Earth just cranks out oil.
Imagine if it's the liquid to keep the joint. That's why so many earthquake later. Because before there was the oil, they allow the tectonic plate to move, no problem. Now we're pumping all the oil out, so the tectonic plate are like.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
yeah, I mean that was the argument for fracking. Remember?
Just the name fracking is bad by itself,
Well, okay. Speaking of earthquakes, some people believe the Venezuela thing was actually like, laser beams, man-made earthquakes to bring in the NGOs to smuggle out the children.
Wow.
If somebody tell me the Venezuela is an inside job, but the Twin Tower are not, I want to have dinner with this person.
Coming back real quick to Atlas Shrugged, that was an Ayn Rand novel. Did you know that, from 57? Yes. That's wild. I didn't know that. Just had to get that fact out there.
Yeah, Ayn Rand.
Where dystopian United States productive individuals go on strike against increasingly government control, causing societal collapse. How far ahead of time was she? I love it because isn't she Russian? Yeah, Russian American writer, philosopher. Nice.
I think there's a lot of things going on that are psyopy. How is it that psyopy? You know what I mean? Everything's a psyop. I don't know. Like if you're Greek and you grew up in the cynical kind of way, everything's a psyop. Everything's out to get you. Like my mom would come to my house and she'd look at my cabinets and she'd be like, lies. Like she'd look at all the things all the food in the pantry, and she literally said lies. Close the cabinet.
What the fuck? So what about Meta employees consuming 73.7 trillion AI tokens in 1 month?
I want to know doing what? What were they doing? Were they like doing recipes? Were they doing what?
He's like clean up the metaverse, delete it all. Oh, it's gonna take a long time, but let's do it.
Every employee of Meta has written at least 3 books and published them.
I think you said every single one gets 50,000 in AI tokens.
50,000 what? A day
dollars
or a week?
worth? No, like for their salary.
$50,000 a month of. But in any one that they want, in Anthropic or only in Meta AI?
I don't even think they would care. They probably study which ones you're using.
When you first start, you get Gemini. The newbies.
Dude, okay, I watched the whole video talking about how Google is like on a downturn, just like Amazon for sales, because they're number 3 in AI. And the video was just talking about like number 3. Like think about how far ahead number 1 and number 2 are. And they haven't even updated in a long time. I didn't think about that, but Google hasn't been updating, but beyond like what, images and video, their AI is not getting better.
To their credit, the Gemini video generation is pretty good if you're not doing anything controversial. I have to plug, dude, I want to try to start doing Heisenberg reports again, but like freaking Gemini won't do it, dude. They're like, no, I can't help you with that. Like, because I try to do controversial things, and it just won't do it. So, Sora was really good. To their credit, they did a great fucking Sora was amazing.
That says a lot about OpenAI. That's what's funny.
Yeah, and I was able to crank out videos and all kinds of controversy. And so, if you guys know of an AI freaking video that I can use that will let me do controversial topics and actually be really good, then let me know.
Link credits. I paid for a year. They gave me 3,000 a month, and I'm not using it.
I was gonna say you should play with 11 Labs because they have different AIs.
11 Labs isn't it just voice?
No,
no more. You have avatar.
All right, I'll try, dude. I'm telling you seriously. If you want to spare some tokens so I can do some videos, help a brother out. You know what I mean?
I mean I think I get 100,000 a month for 11 Labs, but I don't even use it. I had all these plans to make like a whole channel of automation, and I didn't roll it out.
So you lost yourself in the application.
Too many
You
applications.
lost the moment in social media, or you still did you lose the moment in social media, or you still?
Oh no, it's so much work, dude. Automation is dumb. Like I had this whole plan where I was gonna automate.
You were famous. Even the comedian talked to you, whatever. There was a few weeks that everybody was interested in your post. It's still going on.
Oh, dude, that post is still blowing up right now.
How many
That's
views?
what's funny. It slowed down, but I'm still getting follows every day. I still get comments on it every day.
Dude, my Heisenberg on TikTok is still getting comments. I don't go on there because I'm so hurt that I can't make more videos. You know what I mean? So I avoid it. Like it's going on. People are commenting. I see hearts crazy on my Heisenberg reports, and I'm like, I want to get back into it, but I can't find a. Seriously, okay, I'll check into 11 Labs if they'll let me do freaking talk about crazy stuff. And
one thing is, there's a bunch of different AIs. So if one doesn't work, I think it doesn't even use the credit. It just doesn't fulfill the order. So you can try the next AI, try a different AI, just keep going down the line. And you never know because some AIs are more expensive than others for what it charges you.
If you use APIs, it's more expensive. Like I use Grok and I use
Oh yeah, it is for 11 Labs. Yeah, it is. If you use your actual real voice too.
I just want to make videos, man. I just want to make.
That was funny that someone was roasting you. I was like, yeah, you're over here on the cutting edge of this shit. It'll be in every movie in like a year.
Oh, I posted my motivation on LinkedIn. That was really funny because I just did it on Saturday. I got 1 view. Sunday was like a few views, and now it's got like almost 5,000, more than 5,000 views on LinkedIn. I didn't expect it, but people were losing their minds because people. I have to say, the British, they're really like grumpy. All the British folks on those comments were like negative comments. So one guy, I'm like, well, who pissed in your Weetabix this morning? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The funny part is I always just assume every comment is negative. So I always prepare for the worst. Anytime any comment comes in before I even read it. But hey, what's up with that Internet History 101 video y'all shared? Anything good in that?
Oh, that was fun. That was really cool.
What stuck out? Tell me about it.
I mean, it was fascinating to see the history. Now, at the end of it, where we're going to modern times, I didn't understand what he was saying, but like, I mean, it's a great way to visualize, like, how the internet was invented, the email, all the different connections, all the different people who had their, HTTPS, all that stuff. How
the
it
video
all
that
worked.
I shared.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was a lovely video. It was like.
It's super funny. Also, make you laugh because when they show the picture of Bill Gates, because it makes some decision, they show the picture of Bill Gates next to Epstein, and
Yes, I saw that.
In many other things, there are some small that are so funny, and it's also made in they call thinking rocks. The computer are thinking rocks. It is like hilarious how it is prepared.
Another crazy story this week. There was a cockroach smuggling empire that got busted in Australia. Authorities uncovered around 100,000 illegally trafficked insects, part of a large exotic bug trade operation. It sounds funny until you realize illegal insect trade is tied to invasive species risk. Biosecurity failures can wreck agricultural ecosystems fast, and it's basically a black market Pokemon, but real and ecological. So yeah, someone's entire criminal enterprise was apparently bugs.
When I drove my car from Florida to California, California is the only state that a huge barrier. They stop you. They make you throw away any organic things except humans that you have in the car before you keep going. It's insane. They're scared. They're scared.
I mean, if you ever go to Hawaii, they make you sign these papers before you even get to the island that you're not bringing anything in, and then still there's somehow like some animal that spawns on the island that it's like, how did you get here? How are you reproducing? How is this? This never existed before.
Well, Florida is like, oh my God, Florida, so many invasive species. That people let out their pythons and their
Humans
conchas,
as well.
and they go after them, which is great. And there's actually a guy on YouTube. He goes out in the middle of the night, barefoot, goes out in the middle of the night and just plops, like grabs all kinds of critters.
There's so many strange things in Florida, starting with Florida man and Florida woman. Go to the Keys. The Keys are those small islands that connect Key West to Miami. And there are some islands that are full of deers, for example, or, things that you would say, what? Did you see the sign, pay attention, deers in the middle of the ocean? And, there are islands with the animals that are only in the island because they cannot swim to the next.
Here's another crazy story. A live frog showed up in a sealed supermarket salad bag. So basically, modern food supply chains are still not fully sterile at scale. Highlights globalized.
That shows you there is the real thing, the real deal, and not some strange crap.
Oh, wow. That's funny to argue with. Like, Your Honor, it's fresh. What did you expect?
This is exactly how this should be ended.
Honestly, if it was GMO, it wouldn't have survived. We're proving it to you. That's hilarious. It was like probably feeding on the food, staying alive.
You know what is worse to find to bite an apple and find a worm inside it. Is to bite an apple and find half of a worm inside it.
Oh my God! There's a way to get them out? Make them come out, I think. That's gross, though.
Earthworm Joe. It was the video game. So funny.
Earthworm Jim, right?
Jim.
Okay, Jim. Yeah. Dude, that was a good game. Yeah, great little memory.
Science, you need to understand the physics.
If Angie was here, I'd tell her to pull up that cover so everybody can look at it. New York City sewer exploration reports ecosystem density is higher than expected. There's dense insect populations, adapted rodent colonies, and unexpected microbial diversity. Cities are basically parallel ecosystems we never work at. That's nuts. It's like discovering a second, grosser version of the city that you already pay rent in. It's pretty nasty.
There is. When 9/11 happened, they closed all the area in Manhattan. But I had a friend that she was living there, so she was authorized to enter in order to go home. And she said that in the night there were crickets, quite loud too. And it says that, and she thought that they came in suddenly, but they're always there, but you don't hear them because there is noise of the city usually. So that's probably one of the
interesting. That's a good one. Interesting.
So
you literally just don't hear it.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. It's the same thing like when a tree falls in the forest, but nobody's there.
Massive marine seal reportedly disrupting public infrastructure in Tasmania. Large seal has been blocking roads, damaging property, becoming a local celebrity hazard. Wildlife and urban expansion collisions are increasing. It is unclear who is winning. Y'all, do you have any stories like that, Roberto? You got any wildlife stories on your island?
I went one day in a city and I started disrupting traffic.
Oh my God.
There's a story of a seal that was like on the docks all the time, and he would come over, and he was like a big guy, so they actually made him its own dock, floating, so he could stay there and not like disrupt it was actually a famous one.
In Florida they have manatees. That's the
manatees.
There is even a
aren't those bigger? They're bigger, aren't they?
I don't know. I've never seen one, but they do. When it gets cold, they start to go inland. They start to congregate together, which is kind of a strange thing that they do. They're very sensitive to the temperatures.
They're very protected. If you annoy one, you get in trouble.
Oh yeah, you don't mess around. But the iguanas, bro, we had a cold snap, months ago, and dude, they were dropping out of the trees. Like literally, they drop out of the trees.
Yeah,
And
frozen.
I've had,
I saw this thing so weird. Oh my god! They're like,
I've seen one. Like I had one drop next to me. You know, this thump, like big piece of meat. You know, just dropping, and they were catching by the thousands, just picking them up because they're just frozen in the middle of the street.
Funny.
So
Can you revive it? Do they come back to life? Or are they just
they're
dead?
alive, but they're just frozen because it's so cold they can't move.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're in Bali once from a tree. I was driving the motorcycle and he fell on the motorcycle, a snake with a frog in his mouth. They fell from a tree, and I guess really scared.
Wow. Iguana shop owners go out on those nights and they start picking them off the
Collect them,
street.
resell them the next day.
Resell it. That's awesome. Let's see. Anything else here? Viral animal behavior stories continue to spike globally. That was basically what we're talking about. Urban wildlife intelligence increasing in reports animals adapting to human noise and light cycles in measurable ways. We're not just changing the planet, we are forcing biological systems to rewrite behavior patterns faster than expected.
Well, I saw the video of the cow that collect one of those brushes that you use to clean the floor, you know, like the hard brush with the mouth, the handle, and she used it to scratch herself on the back. So just moving.
Wow.
So, and the first time that they see a cow using a tool, so that shows
we're evolving.
They're evolving, exactly. Also, the cow. Larry Garson would have new comics to make today. But
Oh my god.
the
Instead of
dark
got
side
milk.
of the cow.
No more got milk. You got a back scratcher is more like it.
By the way,
John-
Joe, I just did a video on 11 Labs. It cranked
And-
it out for me. It cranked it
Really?
out for me.
The one you wanted?
Huh?
The one
Because-
that you wanted?
I was just trying this one prompt, right? And I was using it on Gemini. It wouldn't do it, dude. It would not do it. It's like, no, it's too
Yeah.
controversial.
And
So I
it
was-
used to do it, dude. I think something happened to Google where they're like, all right, we got to stop printing celebrity faces.
I wasn't even, well, you know, I talk about controversial things like, anchor babies and things like that. The thing that came out with
And
You know.
and I saw a political rating where Gemini actually leaned, what was it, to the right more than any of them. So it was basically, I think it was like the most unbiased AI is what I was trying to.
Really?
Yeah,
They've been the first to be super biased on the left.
yeah, they were. I remember
You know,
that.
then
Grok is pretty.
But
you know,
Grok
like-
is right wing. Is Elon Musk? I mean, like what you expect?
What
Like
just
my
happened
own-
with it? Oh, something about Grok. No. It was Twitter. You can now integrate it with like real time updates. Did you see that one?
What do you mean real time updates?
Like you can actually tie it to your AI and it can keep track of like news in real time now. You can get real. I forgot what it was. There was a very specific acronym.
I know the Hermes can use Grok free. I mean, with just your subscription without using token API.
See, these are the tiny things that Grok has on everybody else, are just like connecting to things that no other AI will connect to.
I realized Elon Musk built excess amount of data center and now he's giving them to other people because nobody's using Grok enough to make sense of those. He had an expectation that didn't become true.
That's a good ass point. Yeah, XAI seems like a loss, but at the end of the day, he does need an AI for his projects. And I think the Cursor deal just went through officially. 60 billion.
Yeah, why? That doesn't make sense. Which is more than he paid for Twitter. And nobody is making a fuss out of it. There is, I want to understand why, because I don't see the reason for it.
Anymore, Cursor is now considered a control point. It sits in a space where engineers write code, AI agents generate code, and enterprise systems get built. So whoever owns it sees massive amounts of developer behavior, controls the interface where AI coding agents operate, and can plug your own models into Grok XAI directly into production workflows. It's not an app, it's a choke point in the AI economy.
You know, I think I have an issue myself. I mean, grew up in Venice, okay? Venice is a unique city in the planet, is on the water, building enter the water, It has all the mechanics that is unique, right? But when you grow up there, you walk around like whatever, you know. Somebody one day told me, try to do this thing. Go to Venice and look at it like if it's the first time you're looking at it. And wow, it was powerful because I really started looking at things that I completely avoided looking when I was so used to Venice. Now, why I'm telling you this crap that you don't care about? Because of probably the approach I have to computer
Ah.
that day one doesn't allow me to see things that probably will make me go like, wow, if I didn't, you know. So I don't understand why some stuff may have a value. Why maybe like 90% of the people using computer use the thing, and I don't because I do things differently. And I would love to when they open a new MacBook Pro, never touch and look at it like if it's the first time I use a computer. Then probably I will start using Apple Notes, Apple Voice Memo,
Right, right.
bring your
All the
things
shit you don't
around.
use.
All things that I disable as soon as there is a new computer, I all disable those things, thrown away because I don't want them stopped. You know, so probably I do not understand the value that the same certain stuff has, specifically in this case, a cursor.
The only one that I read that stands out is the asset is developer behavior data. So that's what stuck with me.
The thing that that took me a while to get over is like, okay, so I've been using Adobe products for freaking my whole career, and all of a sudden it's like, how it's like WordPress is an example. I was trying to get the AI to make me WordPress, you know, changes and things like that, right? And then one day I'm like, why do I even need WordPress?
All right, boom.
Like it's just like dawned, like why am I struggling to make something happen with a tool that I used to use? I use all the time. Why not just get rid of it? Now, and I start thinking about Photoshop and these other like video editing. Like so, there's so many tools now that you don't need those tools anymore, and you can literally just prompt it into existence. It's so I understand what you're saying, Robert. We're so used to working in a certain way that this like it's a whole new paradigm of thinking AI. Like people who have no like vibe coding. Like I've never coded in my life, but all of a sudden I'm just doing things because I don't have a framework for what it should be like.
Correct. So you go easy. When I vibe code something, it takes me 10 times the time that it takes somebody else, you know, like, so I don't appreciate it in a certain level. So I wonder how many face this sort of things when it comes to AI use, right?
I think that comes down to the whole you can't make a mistake when you don't know what you're doing. Wrong.
Yeah, you know what it blows my brain, which is an obvious thing, but it really sometimes I think about it, it makes me mad. You don't know what you forgot until you get to know what you forgot, because else you don't know you forgot it, right? So if I had to call a friend this morning and completely wipe from my brain, my life is perfect because I don't know that I forgot to call my friend. I will only be able to know that I forgot my friend in the moment that I know that I had to call my friend. Now, how many things we don't know that we're supposed to know, and we don't know that we don't know, so we don't know, and we live in peace with it, you know? It is disturbing the level of risk that we put ourselves into because of this thing, right?
The alternative is anxiety, though.
Well, no, or ability to actually do the thing, you know, like make the trouble less.
But if you don't know and you're just thinking about how you don't know all the time, you're just like, that's anxiety.
Ignorance is a bliss, right?
Ignorance is bliss. When I see things like the other day, I saw a guy doing this, showing a video of something I kind of started doing, and he was doing it. It's depressing because all of a sudden you're like someone is doing this thing I just thought of the other day. He's doing it. He's doing it, right? And I didn't know about this before, but now I know about this, and I want to do it, and I have a billion other things I want to do, and it's very God, it's just never ends with like my website, for instance. Like all my new website, I redid it. It's all HTML pages, crazy. And like,
yeah, it doesn't make the content management system do not make sense anymore today.
Yeah, you just crank out a page.
They make website much more safe, harder to hack because there is nothing to hack. You know, it's just HTML pages to read. So
yeah. But I want a blog, so there's like I'm looking at other things that I can do a blog like thing, but without having to use WordPress.
Absolutely. You code a nice blog in an afternoon while coding it.
I'm never going to WordPress again, dude. I'm out.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Was MCP servers being able to connect to Twitter X.
So you can read Twitter without issues or interact with it without issues.
Yeah, I connected to the API, and I was able to post a tweet with my dashboard.
Yeah, so your content agent can watch what's trending in your niche and surface it before your feed, before you even open it. Your research agent can pull real-time reactions to a product launch, not just news articles. Your morning brief now includes live X signal, not just word search. That's kind of crazy. So connect Grok, Cursor, and other AI tools to the X API and X developer docs through hosted model context protocol. But it obviously requires creating an X developer app and enabling OAuth. So that's the other part. What do you think of OAuth anyway? You think there's a better solution than?
I don't like letting third party manage the login in my website, honestly. You know, like simple things. They always try to intrude your website with a pixel now for the analytics. In the past was with the advertising banner. Because once they are there, they read all your user traffic. And once you are universal, say everybody has the Facebook pixel in their website, they can follow a user site to site because he read the pixel and we have a cookie, we know it's him. Then go to the next website and we read the cookie, we know it's him. So they follow how you travel online, and this is very bad. So it's beautiful to have.
It's not bad if you're trying to sell stuff online.
If you're the other side, no, but obviously for everything, right?
I use Facebook Pixel with my clients. We put every site has it because we're tracking when they get there.
We use it ourselves in the commerce site because then what you do, you don't do it. But there are browsers that ignore them absolutely. So that because it starts from the email. Send an email that has a piece of graphic that is loaded, but then identify, locate you because the URL is unique. Then you know how a seed for a crypto work. Practically, to make a huge large number, you using a very limited amount of digit, you can use bases, right? So we use base 10. Base 10 goes from 0 to 9. When you arrive at 9, you need to start 1 0 until 1 9, then 2 0. When you are 9 9, you go 1 0 0 and so on, right? And if you use a binary, it's only 0 and 1. So once you are 1, you need to go 1 0, then 1 1, and then 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0, 1 1 1, and then 1 0 0 0, so on. But if you go, for example, hexadecimal, use A, B, C, D on top, and then it goes to 1 0. But if you want to go to 1600, base 1600, rather than using number, you use words. So home is 1, horse is 2, and so on. You choose a vocabulary 1600 word, then you make a phrase. Home, horse, bridge, car, whatever. And this is a huge number because it's in base 1600, but it has only 4 numbers represented by a word each, right? So if I want to follow and track millions of users without being intercepted from the mail things, I put my signature that is always the same graphic, but come from different directory. So it's saving my website /house /horse / and then signature. So when your email open it, I know exactly which is your ID. And then I use the same things for, other things, and I can identify you, that email to another email to another email.
So basically, an endless.
In case you want to write code it.
It seems like it's endless at that point. You can get as much data as you want.
Absolutely. There is a company that is called What 3 Word. And with 3 word, like house, horse, chariot, they locate one place in the planet that is 3 meter by 3 meter. So you can even locate the front door of your house and the back door of your house with 2 different codes, three words only. So and then you can download the app, what rewards in your mobile, and you know that you live at giraffe, I don't know, meter shoe, and that is your 3 meter by 3 meter square that is mapped for. Even the oceans are mapped, all the full planet. That's pretty smart. Which means that they only need the three words to get all the coordinates that you want.
Stop sharing your cookies. Did y'all see the bug for Apple with the hide my email feature?
Everybody can uncover it.
Security flaw that exposed users' real email addresses instead of hiding them. Security researcher claims the bug can reliably trigger in tests. Apple was warned about it over a year ago. Still hasn't been fully fixed. And in some testing, every hidden address tried was exposed. In other words, the privacy layer is leaking the thing it was designed to protect.
Because Apple need okay from the NSA to fix it and move it in a different manner. That's why they didn't figure out how to keep reading.
That's a good ass point, dude. Someone has to benefit from that not being fixed, right?
Obviously. I mean, sometimes I wonder, there's multi-billion-dollar company. It's not that they miss the talent to do things properly, that they write crap software. It's too easy for a multi-billion-dollar company to justify these things because the software wasn't good. When you have those means and you do something like this, you did it in purpose. There is no excuse. I know that I need to be proven what I say, but in front of it's like if you spend $10 million to build a house, you better be fucking perfect. The house, the piping, need to be perfect. The ceramic must be perfect. Everything has to be perfect because that's why you spend the money.
But yeah, it makes me think of how many times Joe Rogan says things like Apple's the best with privacy. Like they really care about you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
But in general, they give this idea, and I think they roll on it. Every time the police find the phone and they refuse to unlock it for the for enforcement, or they say we cannot even do it. It's impossible like this. This is good advertisement, right? It never happened with an Android. You never see a case where the police says, we got this guy with an Android phone, we cannot access all the data inside. Because Android is open, like, by Apple, no. So,
dude, I was in the room multiple times when federal agents came to my cousin to try to get him to break into iPhones. I was there. So, I mean, these were earlier models as well. So maybe times have changed. And I mean, I never signed an NDA that said I couldn't talk about that anyway, but that is what's crazy, that they do seek out actual hackers to get them in the Apple phones because Apple won't do it themselves. So they probably have contracts with companies that they just outsource the phone to.
But this is the low level, but if it's, like mass surveillance, then they can do it, it doesn't mean that because they do it, then everybody can do it, you know what I mean?
True.
That's a cool project. Use Fable to hack into a phone, an iPhone. See what happens.
Well, one of the bugs that we would use was, how there's a limit to how many times you could type the password. It would just cycle through it over and over again until it got the right code because my cousin bypassed the emergency that it would block you, the time limit or whatever. So just testing codes over and over again until it gets it right.
In fact, that is exactly what the system they do is brute force. It's called brute force. You need to remove the face recognition, the fingerprint, because that gives them the power to actually force you to.
Man, I loved the days before the Face ID and we had a home button. It was great.
But if you use only the code, they cannot force you to give it up.
That's nice.
The law in most countries. Then there are countries where they convince you very, very fast. But it's another
there's a video I posted. It was talking about like all this tokens that you can buy from China and how is it so cheap?
Yeah.
That was fascinating. It's like all the different layers. Like now you can use, you can generate the codes for the IDs and then the AI picture and then like the whole list of things that people are doing with AI to bypass all these ID things. Speaking of IDs, fascinating, dude. I mean, it's like opened up my mind. It's like holy snakes, man.
International contrabands of AI tokens. Like can see how they catch you in the airport with this luggage full of AI tokens.
Wow.
You were bringing the country illegal AI tokens. No, actually, that's the Lego of my son. Hey, right.
No, they ask you first. It was like, do you have any fruits, and then do you have any tokens?
Exactly. I love when Bitcoin and the other crypto had this metal coin as a commemorative things, you know, like, and many people thought those were actually Bitcoin, so they wanted to buy the Bitcoin, they bought the metal coin.
Oh, by the way, when I travel through the airports, and I bring silver with me just in case
Half of
I
a
get.
dollar, $1, what it is.
This is an ounce of silver.
But is $1 $1, or is just
No, it's just silver. There's no dollar. It's just silver. It's just an ounce of silver. It's generic. But what happens is every time I go through the airport, like the silver is black inside my pack, you know.
Right.
So they always want to see it. They always want to see what this black thing is because that's how it shows up on the X-ray. It's just a solid piece of black, you know.
It's not a bomb. It's
But
not a bomb.
it's not illegal. It's fine.
No, it's not illegal. They're just curious. They're like,
4 kilo silver in coins.
yeah, they don't know what it is.
I love it. You're just waiting for him, chuckling. Never fails. Pulls it out.
One time, I got to tell you, I went through screening, and I was waiting for my my plane, and I looked in my bag, and I pull out a piece of rebar, a 1/4-inch piece of metal rebar, you know, that I picked up off the street because I'll pick up a piece of metal because it's like a piece of rebar, and I can't believe I got through it with a, you know, so I'd like.
But they
I
confiscate
dumped
your
it.
water, though. Actually, they
Yeah, I
don't
know.
do it anymore in Indonesia. I brought the water straight from outside inside the airplane. They didn't bother my full bottle, 1
funny.
liter.
So you can bring rebar, but you can't bring water. That's crazy.
Exactly, that's the crazy shit.
I'm trying to think of any other crazy stories I got. I remember one time we had to help find somebody that was stalking a famous country singer's child. I won't even get into too much details, but that was a crazy one where we had to literally locate who this person was that was basically threatening a family member. But man, I wish I could actually talk about that. That's a crazy one. God. And then there was another time that there was the riots that were in San Antonio that we helped with that. It's pretty insane to think like how you're supposed to control crowds that are causing mayhem. Pretty impossible. But yeah, I don't know. I just think about how many other companies get outsourced for projects from the government that we don't even actually know about. Because I consider that small shit, small fry stuff that we were doing. Like when there's a real problem, they don't want to be held responsible for any of it, so they just outsource it.
Yeah, sometimes things work in this way. Rather than taking responsibility, people do spend time more. In Italy, in the hospital is happening because a lot of people start suing the doctors for malpractice because they didn't do this exam to understand that there was this. So now you go to the hospital, you say, I have a cold or I scratch my finger, and they order you like 50 different exams because they don't want responsibility that something else was on. And
wow, so it's like an overkill of safety measures.
exactly. And in Italy, it's the government paying your hospital bill, not you. So you end up that if they could see 10 people in a day, now they can see only 3 because before everything is done. So in Italy, literally, the government take your bill of the hospital, but if you go for an urgent things, the doctor says there is something to check because you're gonna be sick, they give you appointment 3 years later. You know, like insane, it's useless. Or you go to the private and then you pay. You know.
So it's literally only emergencies.
Yeah. Or you know somebody, like everything in Italy. You know somebody, then.
If in Greece it's the same thing. If you go to public, hospital, like government hospitals, I was in there with my brother literally for 18 hours in emergency. And by the end of the day, it was like the next morning, right? Everybody's gone. I'm still trying to like do stuff with the doctor, like finish up with my brother the next 18 hours later. And it was like, because what they do is the hospital's there, like they rotate. So Tuesdays is this one, and they get all the emergencies, so they rotate the emergencies in Athens. So if you go to the emergency, and it's like 50 gurneys with people like like especially old people who like busted their heads, fell down the stairs. They got freaking diabetes feet. It's just horrible. Fucking, it's really sad. But and then you got the Ereldas in there trying to like get in the doctor, and they're trying to jockey their person into to see the doctor. It's like
Whoa.
it's worse than a zoo. It's like Gladiator.
Damn.
Like, oh my god,
That is
dude.
horrible.
But if you can pay, you get good service. But if it's public service, dude, it's like you're like you might just get something in while you're in there. You know what I mean? Oh,
Wow.
dude, let me tell you, I was with my mother on her last day at this hospital, bro. The day she died, and I'm waiting in a hallway, and there's a freaking cart made out of stainless steel, and it's almost like, hey, we need this welded. My cousin can do it. It was like rusty, blown holes. It was like it came with tetanus shots in order to push it. It was so fucking bad, dude. It was so horrible.
Oh, were you supposed to lay on that?
No, it was just like a cart for things,
my
somebody
God.
just freaking welded it in their backyard or something. Some cousin who's like, oh, I can weld.
Wow.
And it was like the worst welding job in the world. Meanwhile, my mom's.
I know welding.
I know a guy. Anyways, that was my Greek hospital story.
It's good shit.
I think we should end on that. I don't know.
Anything else, Roberto? Anything else you want to drop?
Now, I will take note of every crap we've been talking about and nonsense, and now we say how AI will optimize it. We close the.
No, there actually wasn't as much in the news today, so that's why I was kind of all over the place, trying to look for the weirdest stories. I don't know. Every week it's talking about how AI boom is about to bust, but it hasn't happened yet. The bubble's gonna pop, Roberto. The AI bubble's gonna pop.
Good. Everything the pop is good.
Oh, last thing that's funny that I want to talk about is the Meta glasses that are actually really cheap, and like they're coming out with all these name brands, and they're putting fashion first, and then we're laughing at Snap the other week. We were making fun of how big they are. I thought that's insane, dude. Like just first impression, we were joking about it, how ridiculous it looked, and then now the entire public caught up and was like, "What are they thinking?"
What's interesting, like well, I heard this article, like what Meta did, which is really good, is like they took a brand that people know and they put their technology in there. So now once like the once it becomes popular, then they don't need the brand anymore. They can just push their products and have like cheaper tiers for that product. But yeah, those glasses were horrible. To me, they remind me of like, Onassis, like fashion mogul that owns an island kind of thing. Pepito. That's the look that I
I think they need to only make the lenses, nothing else. Like you make the lens, then I can apply it to any glass I want. It should be a company that make televisions, like Sony, whatever. This is the lens is just a screen, and then all the application is on your cell phone. So you don't have to have intelligence in the glasses per se. There is a small
And
camera
dude-
and the two TV that you.
What's funny is they're so big, and the dude is just casually like acting unbothered by how big they are. Just, oh my god, it's hilarious. That's why I was saying your dude Martivation. Yeah, your dude Martivation would have been perfect for that. Like just the first to adopt it, like shamelessly. Like this is the
Dude.
future.
That's a great idea. I gotta do that. I could do a version of him with his glasses.
He
Hilarious.
leans into everything that the public is against.
Hmm.
He's like, no, they just don't understand it. It's ahead of its time. Starts asking every kid for their Snapchat. But yeah. Anyways, this has been good. Good episode. Miss you, Chris. Come back. I'm not gonna watch it. You won't even know we missed you. But anyways, any last words?
Yeah, if you wanna,
What's
let me use your 11 Labs, I'll buy it. But
I'll think about it. I'm not using it. Maybe we can honestly. I feel like you got to get on a roll on how you're going to use it, and then we could probably figure out some way to grow another channel. I don't know.
well,
Like maybe we can get into some educational stuff and make a spin-off.
So my idea today was to actually create another like a product, which is like I create like I don't want to create like an AI avatar of you, but I want to create like a unique character that represents your brand. So I do character developments, and then like the next tier is where I produce so many videos a week for
Yep.
you, and
Luckily,
also create a whole channel, like the channels, the social blah blah blah, and run them. So that's kind of my business idea for AI character development.
I think you can only make like 2 voices that are like premium or whatever, but I have my voice already on there. I just haven't used it. The only thing I need to do is use like HeyGen, which will make your digital avatar. That's like the highest quality avatar you can make.
But here's the thing, like, okay, so I posted on, so I'm walking around and I posted on my stories of me, just me talking, right? So for me, AI is a way to avoid me actually being on camera. So I'll be honest, like I want to avoid being on camera. Like I don't want to be on it. I think the next level after AI avatars is real people. That's going to be a thing where like that's going to be a premium. So where I'm going
wow, dude, holy shit! You know what'd be funny is if your YouTube channel is your AI dude, but if you subscribe, then you watch my real videos. If you pay your membership, that's the Patreon.
This is good for OnlyFans and not for YouTube.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. It's like, he makes great content, but what's he really sound like, or what is he? What like you want all the mistakes and that's funny. Dude.
So my stories is like, because I'm walking around and there's wind and everything, so it's like, okay, I'm not going to worry about all the details of what is, the voice and the sound. I'm just going to go dude, have you seen that guy who's a light housekeeper? Like he's a bearded dude, right? And you can't hear a word he's saying. He's got millions of views and he's talking, but you can't hear anything because it's just wind blowing. And he puts little philosophical comments at the bottom, and that's his channel, bro.
It's authentic. That's what I'm saying. You'll pay for the authenticity. You get the intro for the AI, you get sucked in, and then you realize, damn, this is AI. Maybe I'll be a member and subscribe and give him some money to see the authentic shit.
That's a great idea, dude.
That's the future.
So I guess if you want me to help you with develop something, for credits, I'm willing to.
Yeah, I'm down. Maybe you can post on my nonprofit channel or something. But all right, let's talk about it, fellas. Next week.
Okay, wait.
Try to do it.
I need to stop the recording, man. We need to have it.
We did 2
hours. I'm gonna leave and mess it all up for the editing.
Exactly, because we miss Chris. Go do that now for your video, yeah.